Hi, we're here in Fredericksburg looking at a nearly $1 million listing. It's in a neighborhood of houses that actually look like that or even smaller. We're near the University of Mary Washington. You can see a UMW on I don't know what that is, a grill. You can see a table that's sponsored by Corona. So we're kind of in a college town area. And as you'll see from the second smaller video here, we're on a street of one-story houses that are kind of tear-down houses. They look like they're about one step up from being trailers that have had foundations built under them. This is the attic of this house, which has been converted into finished space, kind of an extra bedroom, I guess. And then there are 2 floors below this, and then a finished basement. And this house is listed in the 800,000s. There are very, very few things in Fredericksburg listed for over $1 million, and I don't think there are any for over $1.5 million. And those are usually much nearer the river. We are on the non-river side of Mary Washington University. Here's our first bedroom. It's sunny. It's small. It's unclear to me if this house is a pure tear down or if they somehow bumped out an existing house and like added a 3rd floor and finished the attic and basement. It has these old heating vents that make me think that part of this is a pre-existing house. There you can see what the rest of the neighborhood looks like. These are definitely not $800,000 houses, although maybe that's what's about to happen here all over the place. I suspect some of those houses are in the 2s or 3s and at most the 4s, and I doubt the 5s. Here is a quite sybaritic bathroom, and there are 2 of these at least. So I kind of understand why this is built to be more expensive than everything else. Here's a shower I find fascinating because it's just open. There is no door. The water, I guess, the floor's tilted, so it's just going to run the right way. Interesting that all the fixtures up here are brass colored. I don't actually think this brass or gold color is all that attractive, but it is what they've done. Here's another on the opposite side, another bathroom with a giant soaking tub with the brass colored fixtures and an independent shower. This one almost has a door, not quite. I suppose actually you could put in a door. Here's another bedroom, also on the front of the house. Mary Washington College is about 1.5 blocks that way, which I guess is east. And it's several blocks deep. And on the other side of it is a very twee area full of antique shops and fussy restaurants that don't quite have prices as high as a DC restaurant, and the food is very hit or miss. It's never bad, but sometimes it's very rustic kind of country food, and sometimes it's actually a little bit fancy, but it's not quite what you would find in DC. Anyway, this floor, the second floor of the house, has these 2 rather hedonistic bathrooms, and then it has 4 bedrooms. None of the bedrooms are big, and only one of them opens onto the bathroom, and that bathroom, the second one that I showed you, is actually open to the hall as well. So there is no completely private bathroom. There is a larger bedroom that has its own bathroom. Here's radiator heat, which makes me think that part of this house is that this house is partly the house that was here before. Anyway, then we go down to the first floor. The first floor is kind of center hall colonial, which is kind of what the house is. Over here we have a little dining area. We have this very open kitchen. Everything's new. We have either 2 ovens or a heating compartment as well as an oven. $899. So this house is basically a $900,000 house. This kind of interesting, not double sink, but has lots of things going on. Great that we have a window over the sink. We also have a second window here. Complicated electric stove. More radiator. There seem to be 2 compressors, so I guess it's 2-zone inside. You can see that the backyard is not much. There's a little shed out there. You probably want a fence so you don't have to look at your neighbors behind you, who are mainly in, although they look new, smaller, simpler houses. So here's this extra little room. There was already a dining room area up there. Then there's this little room. And then there is this kind of big 2-part living room. Suppose this could be another dining area. So you could have 2 separate dining tables and even space for a 3rd or a 4th if you needed it. So that if you had some kind of large dinner party, you could have several dining tables that all had 6 people, even if you didn't have any that could accommodate them all. Of course, if you moved all your dining room, living room furniture out, you could also put them here. Unusual choices here. Like, I'm assuming this is an original fireplace of the original house before they started bumping this out. And then there's this, which I'm not quite sure what it is. Marble slabs down here, but then I'm not sure if those are the same thing or they're just made to look like it. And then there's this mantelpiece. There is a powder room on the first floor. Nice sink. It's made to fit in. Actually, it's more than a powder room. It has a shower. So it's a 3rd bath. Again, with the brass fixtures. I think there's someone who renovated this who has very particular notions about style that led them to brass fixtures and to the odd mantelpiece. And unfortunately for housing regulations prevent me from speculating on the origins of anybody's taste. But people from different parts of the world do have different aesthetics. But I can live with the brass fixtures, and it's easier to replace the mantelpiece. It's not even necessary. I mean, this is a great house. I just don't know if you can sell something for $8.99 in this area where everything else is currently one of these small tear-downy looking houses. So, fairly giant hot water heater, a furnace. I'm not sure if the furnace is completely new. The washer dryer are definitely new. A lot of copper pipes, a lot of plastic pipes. So I think somebody expanded this to flip. And they're going to be the first flip on this street. I'm sure they're not the first flip in Fredericksburg. And the only question is, does it make sense to buy their flip, or would it make more sense if you had the access to capital and the time and the energy and the patience to buy your own house in the area and do this to it? Which one would be cheaper? Seems like it would have to be cheaper to do it yourself, to buy like a house for $275 or $325 and tear it down or bump it out. But not everybody can get access to that financing, the 203 construction and acquisition loans. And not everybody has the patience. So obviously you have to have somebody else do it for you. I'm just a little, obviously in Northwest DC or in Arlington, this house, if the last time somebody touched it was in 1970 or 1960 and it was barely habitable, it would go for $8.99. But that's not the price structure here in Fredericksburg, so it seems aggressive. It might be one to watch and see how quickly it sells.